Well, top focus this hour continues to be the tragedy that mars the country of South Korea. In fact, in a deadly plane crash where at least 161 people have lost their lives. In fact, like I mentioned, in country's worst aviation tragedy, a Boeing 737-800 aircraft operated by Jeju Air crashed at the Muan International Airport in South Korea on Sunday morning, killing at least 160 passengers on board. In fact, in the latest, Jeju Airlines CEO has taken full responsibility of the crash, saying it doesn't matter what the reason is. He also said that airline will support the families of the victims too.
I would like to express my deepest condolences and apologies to the passengers who have passed away due to this accident and their family members. Jeju Air will make every effort to resolve the situation quickly and support the family members of the passengers. In addition, we will do our best to find out the cause of the accident with the government. We have serviced this aircraft in accordance with the maintenance program, and there was no sign of anything unusual with this plane.
A harrowing video shows the moment of the crash. In fact, the twin-engine plane skidded off the runway and crashed into a wall. The aircraft immediately burst into the flames, and these are the visuals on your screen. Within seconds, huge black smoke rose into the sky. Visuals also showed flames engulfing the parts of the aircraft. In fact, the South Korean acting president also visited the crash site, taking stock of the situation along with senior government officials.
As the minister responsible for overseeing aviation administration, I extend my deepest apologies and condolences to the bereaved families and the public. The government will mobilize all available resources to ensure swift rescue operations, manage the aftermath of the accident, support the bereaved families, and thoroughly investigate the cause of the incident. On Sunday, December 29th, at approximately 9:03 a.m., an accident occurred during the landing of Jeju Air Flight 2116 from Bangkok to Muan at Muan Airport's runway. The aircraft was completely destroyed. There were a total of 181 people on board, including 175 passengers, among whom were 2 Thai nationals and 6 crew members.
In the video, it appears the aircraft attempted a belly landing without its landing gear fully extended. The plane was carrying 181 passengers, including 6 crew members. In fact, this is the another set of visuals which has surfaced and was released by the South Korean television, which captures the moment of a bird strike that doomed Jeju aircraft 2216. The Jeju Air flight was returning to Muan, South Korea from Bangkok, Thailand. Due to the mishap, domestic international flights all have been cancelled at the Muan airport. Another news coming in from the aviation sector itself, where Air Canada flight 2259 made a dramatic landing at the Halifax Runway International Airport in Canada. In fact, the incident was reported on the night of 28th December after a broken landing gear caused the wing to scrape on the runway, igniting a fire. In fact, the aircraft skidded down the runway and parts of it caught fire. A passenger on board described the event and said that plane started to tilt to the left, and as that happened, we heard a loud noise almost like a crash as the wing scraped along the pavement. The airline issued a statement and said that the passengers did not seem to suffer any life-threatening injuries but were shaken up due to this very impact. Well, another story also comes from the civil aviation sector, where a KLM Royal Dutch Airlines flight verved off the runway at Oslo airport in Norway following an emergency landing. According to officials, the same Boeing 737-800 en route to Amsterdam from Oslo airport experienced a hydraulic failure shortly after taking off. In fact, the crew opted to divert to this very airport about 110 kilometers south of Oslo. In fact, the plane touched down safely at the airport but lost control during the landing rollout. The aircraft skidded off runway 18 and came to a halt in soft grass near a taxiway. The plane carried 182 people, including passengers and crew. In fact, none of them sustained injuries is what we are understanding at this given point. Well, in a rare diplomatic move, Russian President Vladimir Putin has apologized to his Azerbaijani leader, in fact, the counterpart for what the Kremlin describes as a tragic incident involving the Azerbaijan Airlines flight. Take a look.
Russian President Vladimir Putin apologized to Azerbaijan's leader on Saturday, following the deadly crash of an Azerbaijan Airlines plane in Kazakhstan, according to a statement from the Kremlin. The extremely rare publicized apology from Putin was the closest Moscow had come to accepting some blame for Wednesday's disaster, though the Kremlin statement did not say Russia had shot down the plane, only noting that a criminal case had been opened. The flight crash-landed in Kazakhstan on Wednesday, after diverting from southern Russia, where Ukrainian drones were reported to be attacking several cities. At least 38 people were killed. One of the victims, a 13-year-old boy, was buried on Saturday in Baku. Relatives said he was flying alone to Grozny, Russia, to visit his mother. 4 sources with knowledge of the initial findings of Azerbaijan's investigation told Reuters that Russian air defenses had mistakenly shot down the plane. The Kremlin said, at the time, Russian air defense systems were repelling attacks by Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles. Putin called Azerbaijan's president and, quote, apologized for the tragic incident that occurred in Russian airspace, the Kremlin said. It added that Putin and Kazakhstan's president had agreed to stay in constant contact over the investigation into the crash, and that civilian and military specialists were being questioned. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also said he called Azerbaijan to offer condolences. In a statement on social media, he demanded that Russia provide, quote, clear explanations.
Well, our next story comes from the state of West Bengal, where in a major breakthrough, Kolkata police has arrested Manoj Gupta, a key accused in the fake passport racket. Acting on a tip-off, police snapped him from the house late Saturday night. In fact, he has already been arrested multiple times, in fact, multiple suspects in connection with the fake passport racket. Investigation reveals that forged documents were being used to create fake passports, with police conducting raids across Kolkata and in the suburb region. This arrest follows allegations of passport frauds filed months ago in the Bhawanipur police station. In fact, Manoj has sought shelter in a women's house in area. In fact, we also are understanding that the woman claims she was unaware of his involvement in this very racket. Midway through their investigation, police discovered that Manoj owned a restaurant in Shekhra Bazaar and on the second floor of his establishment, a travel agency was allegedly being run as a front for the illegal passport business. Raids conducted at the agency's office yielded several forged documents.
वेस्ट बंगाल के और सभी लोगों को हम आश्वस्त करना चाह रहे हैं कि हम लोग वेस्ट बंगाल पुलिस बहुत ही प्रोफेशनल पुलिस फोर्स है। पीछे भी हम लोगों ने देखा एक्सट्रीमिज्म हो, लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म हो, राइट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म हो, हम लोगों ने सबने बड़ा अच्छे ढंग से मुकाबला किया है। इस बार भी करेंगे। हम लोग बांग्लादेश की उस पर नज़र रखे हुए हैं और दूसरा हमने पासपोर्ट का जो सिस्टम है उसमें जिससे कि क्या क्या कमियां हैं हमने दूसरी एजेंसी को बताई है और हमारी जो अपनी चीज़ें उसको हम चेंज कर ले रहे हैं।
पासपोर्ट एक प्रोसेस है जहां बहुत से एजेंसीज इन्वॉल्व हैं, ठीक है। सो कैलकाटा पुलिस एक डिटेल्ड इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑलरेडी पासपोर्ट को लेकर के कर रहा है। जहां हमने कुछ लैकुनेस पाए हैं, कुछ ऑर्डर्स को भी मॉडिफिकेशन के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ वेस्ट बंगाल इज आल्सो राइटिंग अप। जो पासपोर्ट में पहले पुलिस का बहुत एक छोटा सा रोल दिया गया था अबाउट वेरिफिकेशन पार्ट, उसको हम लोग और स्ट्रेंथन करने बोल रहे हैं। लेकिन जब तक नहीं भी हो रहा है तो हम लोग वो अब प्रोसेस ऑलरेडी इंप्लीमेंट कर दे रहे हैं, जहां और लेयर्स, एडिशनल लेयर्स ऑफ सिक्योरिटी बढ़ाई जाएगी, ताकि कोई भी व्यक्ति हो, कोई भी पर्सन हो और जो इन्वॉल्व हो, मतलब वेरिफिकेशन जैसे 100% फुल प्रूफ किया जा सके, कोई किस्म का फॉल्स या गलत आपके जो कार्ड्स होते हैं या जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स होते हैं वो यूज़ ना कर पाए, उसके लिए सब व्यवस्था लागू की जा रही है, ताकि कोई किस्म का भी गलत आदमी के पास इंडियन पासपोर्ट ना पहुंचे।
Well, moving to the state of Tamil Nadu, where in Chennai, BJP state President K. Annamalai's whip protest has entered the day 3. In fact, earlier he defended his recent whip protest, citing that he is described as a primal anger over the Anna University rape case. In fact, Annamalai clarified that his protest should not be seen through a political lens. He said, and I quote, "I acted as a brother to the victim, driven by anger against the system that failed her." Annamalai also criticized the handling of the case, alleging that police actions lacked transparency and also pointed to the FIR being leaked. He also noted that earlier protests led by the Bharatiya Janata Party functionaries, include former Telangana governor, resulted in arrest, compelling him to take action. Welcoming the Madras High Court's decision to constitute a SIT in this very matter of 3 women officers to probe the case, Annamalai expressed hope for justice. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi also visited Anna University, underlining the gravity of the situation.
See, in Tamil Nadu, the government is total failure to maintain law and order situation in the state. They are not bothering about the law and order situation. They are not concerned about the law and order situation. The Chief Minister himself is having the police department and the home department. He is not at all acting, and he is not at all whether people are having doubt whether he is working or not. So the incident is very happening in Anna University is very shameful, and after that the police people are they are published the FIR in this case. So this is very, very shameful, and the FIR release or whatever leak or release, whether it is leak or release, that is not at all a matter. This matter is the affected girls' information has not to be published or has not to be come out. The police are failure to protect the victim's interest.
Well, moving on, Bihar continues to witness intense protest as BPSC aspirants demand a re-examination of the 70th BPSC preliminary exams, alleging a question paper leak. The students insist that a retest for only one center undermines the fairness. Despite restriction, the protests have intensified, with students breaking through barricades and moving closer to the Mahatma Gandhi statue, joined by Jan Swaraj party workers. Jan Swaraj chief Prashant Kishore joined the protesters, urging students to assemble for a Sansad Marg. In fact, authorities denied permissions for the event, but Kishore said Bihar, the mother of democracy, must allow its students to voice their concerns. Turning this into a lathi tantra will harm the government.
एक दिन यहाँ आकर 2 घंटा नारा लगाने से मामला नहीं सुलटेगा। पिछले 10 बरस में हम भी यहाँ 2015 में एक बार आए थे, लेकिन पिछले 4-5 बरस से परीक्षाओं का ये हालत है। कोचिंग सेंटर, सरकार और ये भ्रष्ट पदाधिकारियों के बीच में छात्रों का जीवन बर्बाद हो रहा है। यही पटना कॉलेज और साइंस कॉलेज से पढ़कर लड़के IAS IPS बनते थे। आपको मालूम है कि अगर आज आप कोचिंग न करें, अपना पेट काट करके आपके माँ बाप पैसा देकर आपको अगर कोचिंग न कराएं, तो खाली कॉलेज के पढ़ाई से कोई परीक्षा पास नहीं कर सकेगा। ये नीतीश कुमार ने दशा बनाई है।
The protests ongoing for over a week at the Gardani Bagh have prompted authorities to intervene. In fact, the SDM of the area, Gaurav Kumar, reached the site to assess the situation as tension remains high. Well, moving on, renowned Malayalam film and television actor Dileep Shankar was found dead in a private hotel at Thiruvananthapuram's Van Ross Junction. The exact cause of his death is yet to be determined. Hotel staff mentioned that Shankar had not left his room for the past 2 days, raising concerns. Co-actors who tried to contact him over the phone failed to reach him, prompting them to visit the hotel. When they informed the hotel staff, the room was open and Shankar was found unresponsive. Report indicates a foul smell emanating from the room, which led the staff to investigate further. In fact, the initial investigations by the police have not found any signs of foul play. According to the cantonment ACP, a forensic team has examined the room and further details will be clarified after the post-mortem report.